Welcome back to our final interview with our final author of The Law of Brand Attraction 2. I'm going to be back shortly just to wrap the day up, but here is the most amazing, most credible, most integrity-driven man that I know in business. I just adore this human spirit that we're about to spend the next 15 minutes of our life with. He is absolutely phenomenal. He's a dear friend. He's one of our Brand Builders Club members and mentors. He mentors all of our brand builders on how to build a global profile, and that's exactly what his name is. He is Mark Stephen Pooler, the Global Profile Builder. He does exactly what his name promises. Now, Mark is the founder and editor-in-chief. He's the media and news publisher of MSP News Global. He oversees the company's media business as well as its intersection with global business leaders as well. Prior to forming the MSP News Global, that happened in 2020. Can you believe it's only a year? 2020 was when he launched that. Before he did that, he spent his time as a professional speaker, which is how we got to know each other. We were speaking on a global stage together. But he's also the international best-selling author of his own book, as well as a radio host. He's a PR and media specialist. I mean, this guy has just got a whole treasure chest of incredible skills. And I can't wait to introduce you to him. So one of the things that I wanted to just share with you before we bring him on is that he has this most amazing agency, and he does my PR for me. He does all the PR for our Brand Builders Club members. And I mean, he's just learned from the ground up. He didn't just kind of, decide, oh, PR is quite a nice thing, I think I'll do that. I mean, he literally has worked his way through all of the things that he shares with you. He's done them, he's experienced them, and he still does them for himself. And what I love is that he's really down to earth. And just like me, I mean, I live on a boat and we've got 4 dogs and 2 cats on here. Mark's best friend is Lilly, his 4-legged bestie. So he says, so let's bring on the amazing Mark Stephen Pooler. Congratulations.
Hey, Sammy.
Again.
Thank you so much for the great introduction, and how exciting. It's such a great project to be involved in. We have Dr. John D. Martini as our forward, which is absolutely incredible. I am just really, really excited for the impact that we're going to make with this book, Sammy.
Me too. And we're already making an impact. It's already started. I mean, goodness me, like we've been going since 8 a.m. this morning. So what an amazing treasure chest of excellence we've been able to unpack today. And do you know what's been good, Mark? Do you know what's been what I've enjoyed most about today is I've been hearing all the things that didn't get to go in the book. So it's been like a whole day of gossip. It's been incredible. I'm like, and then you did what? It didn't quite make it to the book. So that's what we're going to do here as well, Mark. I want to hear some of the things that didn't quite make it into the book. Now, I know one of the things, and you just touched on it, you briefly touched on it in your chapter, because you've given an amazing strategy away in your chapter. I suppose, it's own your lane. So at the end, you literally have told them step by step how to own their lane. But one of the things that you just kind of touch on in your chapter is when you talk about that time when, like, you literally died. You literally were dead. And I mean, usually there's no coming back from that. But somehow you were brought back to life. And I want you to just go through that period of time with us, because people see you as you are now. They don't see the progress and what you've come through, which is actually the most inspiring part, is to say, how many years ago was this, Mark, that happened to you?
I was 21 and I am 40 in September. So it's quite a while ago.
19 years. So 19 years ago, you die, and literally your life. I mean, you just couldn't have predicted what your life would go on to become at that time, could you?
I always had big dreams deep down, which I buried deep within myself. And I always wanted to be someone. And I always believed deep down that I could be someone. But when you have a drug addiction, it does really take you to really low depths, and you lose all self-belief, self-confidence, and it really affects your mental health as well. So even though I did have those beliefs, I want to make something of myself, you never really follow through with any ambition because you just want to go out and get wasted, basically. Sammy.
But yeah, I mean, you knew that you had this compulsion. You knew that there was something bigger for you, and yet you continued. I think at one point, didn't your mum kick you out, and you still continued to take the drugs? I mean, how low? I mean, obviously, death is quite low, but how low? Like when you died and you were brought back to life, did you continue with the drugs, or was it like that's it, that's the moment?
I give up crack cocaine and heroin straight away. So I didn't see a doctor. I used the power of my mind. I cold
Wow.
turkeyed. Around this time, a friend gave me a Law of Attraction book a long time before The Secret book come out. And I really started to use the power of my thoughts. But I carried on a party lifestyle, so I was still going out clubbing and taking party drugs. So it was a slow road to recovery.
Yeah, which is probably advised anyway. I mean, the fact that you self-supported yourself through that process as well. I mean, just the mindset and the will that you would have to do that. I mean, you're an incredibly strong person. So how do you how does a young man at 21 go from that experience to now owning a global agency, supporting global influencers to build global brands? You know, like that's quite a different life. Who did you have to become to be the person that you are now, if you were to unpack that?
You do have to grow into becoming a different person, and it takes a lot of self-worth, self-work. In the beginning, I struggled a lot on my social media entrepreneurship journey as a public speaker, getting my first book out, not having any clients, but trying to still get my message out to people. And there were people high up in the industry, or I thought were high up in the industry, trying to knock me down before I had even started to create any kind of success. And there was a lot of self-doubt, but I am not going to give up on my dreams, on my vision, on my goals. So for 3 years, Sammy, I did just keep on going, but there was a lot of stress behind that. So even though I was putting a brave face and blogging and going to events and sharing my book, sharing my message, there were times where I was thinking, is this going to happen? And then you have family members that are looking out for you, but at the same time, they don't have the belief that you have in yourself. And they're trying to protect you, and they will say things like, you should give that up. You're not getting anywhere. You should stick to hairdressing, what you're good at. And that used to just go through me. It was like, I don't like hairdressing anymore. It's not my passion. I want to do something bigger. And that's quite hard. Friends, people close to you, people that you would class as hot in your network, they don't want to know in the beginning. So you find once you start growing and building your profile, sometimes it's people that you don't even know that well that give you amazing opportunities and believe in you more. So to answer your question, Sammy, it was a hard process. It wasn't easy. But if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. You just have to be focused, have a vision, get it down on paper, take action, invest in personal development and self-improvement, mentors, coaching programs. And then you just have to do the work even when you're not getting the results. And over time, you do create a better future. It just takes time.
That's so true. That's so true. I mean, you can be investing in things and thinking, I'm not getting anywhere, but you feel like you're not because you're in your situation. But for somebody else on the outside to looking in, I mean, Mark, if you join the dots going backwards, I mean, what an incredible journey it is. It's really hard on the way there, but now you can look back at the mountain that you climbed and the next mountain that you climbed and the next one to look at where you are now. I mean, you are supporting people to really own their lane and stay in lane. And that's why you are the grand finale chapter in the book. You are like the summit at the end of the book. And boy, what a summit is it? I mean, guys and girls, if you haven't bought the book yet, why haven't you bought the book? Go buy the book. Get it from thelawofbrandattraction.com. I can't say it enough. If you go to Amazon to buy it, you can do that, but you're going to miss out on a whole bunch of bonuses, guys. If you get it from thelawofbrandattraction.com, there's a whole bunch of bonuses that we have all thrown in to support you in going further, faster. There's a whole community behind this that you can be part of, but you have to sign up via thelawofbrandattraction.com to go and grab your Kindle copy. And the physical printed book will be out in the next couple of weeks, so do watch out for it. Get your Kindle now so you can have a real sneaky peek at what's inside there, and then get the book and scribble on it and highlight it, and honestly just use it as your brand building Bible, because it will support you to go further, faster. Mark, what would you say is something you didn't get to put in the book but that you'd like to say now, like something that you think if you're gonna own your lane, you must do this? What would that be?
I would say the first thing that's coming to mind, actually, let me backtrack a little bit about what you said when you look backwards and you connect all the dots. And when I used to see experts saying everything happens for a reason and you learn and you grow, when you're struggling, you are thinking, yeah, right. But when you do get to higher levels and you go backwards and connect all the dots, you really are grateful for all of those struggles, because they do make you turn into a better person, stronger, and the person that you become. So I do now know the value of some of the hard lessons, and you do learn even from bad experiences. I would say I didn't touch a lot on becoming a good salesperson in the book. We spoke all about the power of PR, and the chapter is so full of wisdom around, one, people misunderstand PR and they don't really get what it is. It gives you clear clarity to make a decision. Yes, I want PR now because I know exactly what it is. But it also gives you like a checklist to really check that everything is moving in the right direction and that you have everything that you need to succeed with media and PR. And it tells you what PR isn't, which really is important, which is misunderstood. But we didn't talk a lot about it's important you get confident with selling, because to create success, you are always selling something, and it's important as well not to come from a place of hypnotic selling and forceful selling and any kind of manipulation. It's not needed in today's world anymore. Real selling is being confident in your product and service and sharing it with people from the heart, and people will either love it or it's not right for them right now. And we didn't really talk a lot about selling because that wasn't the topic, but that was what come to mind, Sammy.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Mark. And ultimately, what I love about PR is that it does the selling for you. That's the great thing. You don't have to be selling because the PR is doing it for you. You know, and well, I'm not going to go into it because you got to read the flipping chapter, right? Go and get the freaking book if you haven't got the book yet. Mark, thank you so much for being with us today. I know how busy you are. A whole ton of thought leaders. Mark is the brilliant brains behind the amazing Dr. John Demartini being a forward for the Law of Brand Attraction too. So Mark, thank you so much for your introduction, for bringing your brilliance to the book, and also bringing the brilliance of Dr. John Demartini to this incredible resource that we have here. I mean, guys, even if you just read Dr. John Demartini's chapter at the very beginning of the book, the forward, already you'll be mind blown. You'll already, before you've even opened the rest of the book, you'll be getting massive light bulbs. So guys, please do go buy the book. I'm going to be back shortly to take us into our very last session, and I'm going to be taking you into a process that will ease you gently and nicely and in your power to own your lane, own your value, own your gift, own your impact, and really own the identity of who you are. So go grab a cuppa, and I will see you very shortly, soon. One of them. Lost the power of speech. We've been speaking too much today. Mark, thank you so much. I'll see you soon, my friend. Mwah.
I just want to say, Sammy, Dr. John Demartini is a true gentleman, and he's just meant to be in this book. Yeah. Everything the book is about is what John Demartini is about. But Sammy, every single author in this book, they have such inspirational stories, and there's going to be something in each chapter that can really help people to move forwards, not only in business, but in life as well. Thank you, and get to lawofabrandattraction.com.
Yes. You heard it here. Mark, thank you so much, guys. I'll be back shortly. So see you very, very soon. Mwah.